Okay, boys and girls, this is our other seal lesson for this week. We are trying to remember our patterns. We're using our pairs patterns today. I don't have the ones I have from school, so I've got these ones. They do have a grid on them. I'll show you one. Oops. Okay, so that's the ones I'm using today. So they do have a grid on them, whereas I know normally when we're looking at patterns it would just be the wee dots. But we'll use these for now, and I'm sure it will still have the same principle. We're still looking at the patterns of these. So we're going to start with this one here. That's it, we can see the whole thing now. How many dots are there? 8. I hope you can see that there are 8 dots, but we're trying to find the pattern so that it becomes easier for us to see the number 8 rather than count the dots. So some of you will probably be able to describe to me what you saw in this pattern. So you might be able to point out to me that there's 4 here. You can see the pattern 4 because you've learned that. And then there's another 4. So we have the pattern of 2 4s. But I bet you can see other patterns too. I wonder if you could point to me a pattern where there's 2 dots. Some of you might have been pointing out these 2. Or maybe you pointed at these 2. And then we can figure out, well, how many 2 dots are there? How many pairs there? So we've got this one, 2, 3, 4. There's 4 pairs of dots, and it doesn't matter if you chose a different way to look at it. There'll still be 4 patterns of the 2 dots. So we've got the 1, 2, 3, 4. Right, so that is what we are looking at. I bet you could make something like this at home. If you've got some scrap paper or maybe a wee old envelope or something, you might be able to dummy something up from your house using some scraps that you might have lying around. And then somebody could challenge you with these. We've got this one. How many are there? Hopefully you can see that there's 7. We've still got this pattern of 4 here, so that's easy to see. And then we can see another pattern here. Maybe you can see the 3, or maybe you can see that the 4 pattern's there, but it's missing a dot. And that might help you to know that it's 8, that 1 less than 8. If it's 1 less than 8, then it's 7. Okay. We've got this one. Okay, and it's 9. Hopefully you'll be able to maybe see the 2 sets of 4, and it's 1 more. And we've got this one. It's our 10. Again, you could maybe see a 4, and a 2, or you might see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 2s, and that's a 10. So you see what patterns you can see in that. What I'm going to do now is I'm going to flash them for you, and you can shout out the number that you think it is. But really importantly, hopefully somebody's around that can listen to you describing the pattern that you see. Do you see groups of 3s? Do you see groups of 4s? What do you see? What is it that helped you to say that number as quickly as you can? Now, this is tricky. I'm not sure how I'm going to manage it, but we'll see. What number was that? Bet some of you got it, but just in case some of you weren't paying attention, let's try again. And again. Could you see patterns? Pause the video if you want to. I'm going to just keep going on, but pause the video if you want to try and talk about the patterns that you're seeing, okay? What about this one? No. That wasn't a flash. That was rubbish. I'm going to choose a different one. That one. Let's see. That was a good flash. What number was it? And where were the patterns? Show you a different way. Same number, look different, so you might see different patterns. I don't know, some of that was off, but I'm sure you can still talk about the patterns. Well done, boys and girls. I'll see you soon.